I'm not going to take the fall for something that I didn't do.
You're not willing to take the fall for something you didn't do?
No, and all the anonymous sources in the world can point the finger at me, but I'm not going to take responsibility for something that I'm not responsible for.
You think you're being made the fall guy?
I think that there's some people that maybe had an interest in seeing me take the fall for it.
Now that's what he says, Michelle Rempel. The problem is he hasn't named these some people yet, and so there's lots of allegations. Is it time, given the seriousness and the public interest in this, why not call a public inquiry?
Well, I guess 3 points on that, Evan. First of all, you mentioned the exact right point. This is playing out in court, and Michael Sona will have his day there, and for that reason, we have public inquiry for these things. Second point, for Mr. Dewar to say that there is some sort of larger plot going on, I'd remind him that he doesn't have the immunity that he has in the House of Commons, and that would be akin to me saying that that's akin to me saying that he, because he ran in the leadership race, had some sort of involvement with his party taking
I have no idea what you're talking about.
illegal donations in their last convention.
If anyone believes that he acted alone, I think it's surprising.
It's the same type of allegation, Evan. Thirdly,
so
Mr.
McCallum, just a second,
let me finish,
just a second, Michelle Rempel, I want to just make sure I understand that.
So do I.
Are you suggesting that someone may bring charges now to Mr. Dewar for what exactly? I'm just trying to figure that out.
We need to know.
I'm just saying that we all need to focus on what is happening here. Elections Canada has investigated a single source, a single writing, and is proceeding with an investigation that our party has fully cooperated with. I just don't think that it's right or integrous for my colleagues to be suggesting anything other than that. For Mr. McCallum to say that the Canadians want integrity in the electoral process, absolutely. Yet I should remind him that it's been his party that has been the only one recently who's been charged under the Elections Canada Act. So I think it's very rich for my colleagues to make these grand statements when our party has been the one who has worked strongly with Elections Canada on this matter. These are campaigns that are registered individually. People have responsibility in that, and we will see that play out in this court case.
Okay, just for the record on that, I want Paul Dewar to respond. Well, however, I should mention that I have been told by Michael Sona and others that certainly members from the central headquarters, from the main campaign, were actively involved in that and visited the riding of Guelph. So the level of involvement, I'm not sure what it was or whether anything was done improperly, but I certainly have been told there's some relationship. What it was, I don't know. Paul Dewar.
Well, I'm not going to take the bait and respond. I mean, I have no idea what Michelle's referring to. I simply suggested that it would appear that, that we didn't. Excuse me? Excuse me? Are you going to tell me what to say? I'm not a member of the Conservative caucus, so I will say what I want to say. And I want to say the following, is that it's clear from the response from Michelle, from the Conservatives, is that they're very worried. They've had the scandal of Panashway. We're having to talk about this. And what it means is that this government's more engaged in damage control than actually dealing with the affairs of the nation and helping out everyday Canadians. I won't actually take the bait from Michelle, and I know that this is the way they operate, the Conservatives, is that they will attack anyone, even those who are pointing out that it's pretty absurd to think that this one individual acted alone, which is all I said, and I'll say again.
All right, John.
All we get is veiled threats of suing us from the government representative. It's a bit strange.
Our party is, I just want to close, Evan, by saying that our party is working very closely with Elections Canada on this.
I can't hear about Michelle Rempel, real quick.
I just want to close by saying that since day one on this file, Evan, our party has proactively, we went to Elections Canada and said, can you please look into this and work closely with us to find out what's going on here? This is something that we embrace, that we look forward to seeing the end to, because, I think that one thing we all can agree on is that, yes, Canadians absolutely expect integrity in the election system. It's something that promotes our democracy and is what makes us Canadian. This is why our party has worked very strongly and closely with Elections Canada, and I look forward to seeing a positive outcome on this file.
All right, last word, Mr. Dewar, real quick.
Well, I just think it's pretty obvious from Michelle's comments and from the way the Conservatives are reacting to this. They're worried about what